Alright, so it's 30 minutes past 9. I welcome you to another exciting edition of From the Newspaper, streaming live from the premises of the JC's Hotel, Akbete, Ibadan. Good morning to you. You are listening to AIM 97.3 FM, where we set the agenda and project the truth. And don't forget you can watch us live on Facebook at AIM 97.3 FM. As you're watching us, do well to like, comment, and share. Remember, don't forget this program is in form of 3 segments. The first segment is the weather forecast report of 3 major cities in Nigeria: the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the commercial city of Lagos, and the vibrant city of Ibadan, where we are streaming live from. Where the second segment on the show is the headlines making round of Nigerian newspaper. And as usual, let's bring 4 newspapers to you every morning: the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Guardian newspaper, and Nigerian Tribune. Where the last segment on the show is the details to the headlines. My name is SHAQEEROH AKINYEMI. Alright, so moving on to the first segment of the show, which is the weather forecast report. And the first city I'm bringing on is the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. At 10 a.m. in Abuja this morning, it's easy sunshine with 26 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m. it's easy sunshine with 27 degrees Celsius. And at 12 p.m. it's easy sunshine with 28 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. it's easy sunshine with 29 degrees Celsius. And at 2 p.m. it's easy sunshine with 29 degrees Celsius. Up until 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. with 27 degrees Celsius. And at 7 p.m. is clear with 25 degrees Celsius. At 8 p.m. is partly cloudy with 24 degrees Celsius. And at 9 p.m. is intermittent clouds with 24 degrees Celsius. At 10 p.m. is cloudy with 23 degrees Celsius. And at 11 p.m. is cloudy with 23 degrees Celsius. At 10 a.m. in the commercial city of Lagos, it's cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m. it's cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. And at 12 p.m. is rain with 28 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. is rain with 28 degrees Celsius. And at 2 p.m. is cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. At 3 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. And at 4 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius. At 5 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. And at 6 p.m. is showers with 29 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. is cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. And at 8 p.m. is cloudy with 27 degrees Celsius. Up until 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. is cloudy with 27 degrees Celsius. Alright, so moving on to the last city on the first segment, which is the vibrant city of Ibadan, where we are streaming live from. At 10 a.m. in Ibadan this morning, it's cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. At 11 a.m. it's cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. And at 12 p.m. it's cloudy with 30 degrees Celsius. At 1 p.m. is rain with 31 degrees Celsius. And at 2 p.m. is cloudy with 31 degrees Celsius. At 3 p.m. is rain with 30 degrees Celsius. And at 4 p.m. is cloudy with 29 degrees Celsius. At 5 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 28 degrees Celsius. And at 6 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 27 degrees Celsius. At 7 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 26 degrees Celsius. And at 8 p.m. is mostly cloudy with 25 degrees Celsius. At 9 p.m. is cloudy with 25 degrees Celsius. And at 10 p.m. is cloudy with 25 degrees Celsius. Up until 11 p.m. is cloudy with 24 degrees Celsius.
Audio Jungle.
Moving on to the second segment, which is the headlines making round of Nigerian newspaper. And the first newspaper I'm bringing on is the Punch newspaper. The lead story on the Punch newspaper this morning says, Taraba, Plateau, Adamawa governors face defection dilemma, and page 2 has the detail to that story. And there's one right after that story that says, Kifas move to one political realignment looms. Fitiri holds ground, planned defection on settled state, APC leaders, and page 2 has the detail to that story. Top the line of the Punch newspaper this morning says, Visa cancellation, why I snubbed US Embassy so much, says Soyinka and page 21 has the detail to that story. Another story on the Punch newspaper says, enrollers stranded as NHIS servers failure drags into weeks, and page 2 has the details to that story. Cop controversy, military interrogates MD, raid ex-governor's house, and page 2 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Senate said to great news service chiefs today, and page 3 has the detail to that story. Another story says Abdurazak receives 23 kidnapped victims rescued by military, and page 7 has the detail to that story. Vote buying won't decide Anambra election, says Amopiton, and page 3 has the details to that story. Another story on the Punch newspaper says, hiding asset, court rules Abba Kyari as case to answer, and page 7 has the details to that story. And the last story on the Punch newspaper says, state to hand over 4 trillion naira yearly from VAT reforms, and page 39 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, the latest story on the Vanguard newspaper this morning says, don't judge reform, court waits, Sanusi, Peter Side tells federal government, and page 5 has the details to that story. And there are a lot of riders to that story. The first rider says, challenge leaders on accountability, economic discipline, its reform must work. Other rider says, why do we need 48 ministers long convoy, headless travel, says Sanusi. Another rider says, benefits of subsidy removal can only be realized through paper governance, says Peter Side. Another rider says, Tinubu reform already yielding results, says Edu. And the last rider says, Otu calls for leadership discipline, human capital investment to unlock Africa prosperity, and page 5 has the analysis to that stories. Enugu emerged likely states to survive without FAC allocation, says budget, and page 26 has the detail to that story. Lagos government overrun Shoki residents diva over demolitions, and page 8 has the detail to that story. Vanguard newspaper, another story says Senate NSITF take over, declaration of war on workers, says NLC, and page 9 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle.
And there's one right out to that story that says threatens directive halting workers' fund deductions, remittances, and page 9 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle.
We have received threats from terrorists to bomb NAS, Rep raise alarm, and page 9 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle.
I've been banned from US, says Soyinka, and page 8 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle.
And last story on the Vanguard newspaper says reps to probe NFF over $25 million fever grants, and page 30 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
And the latest story on the Guardian newspaper this morning says election year to test Nigeria reform momentum growth recovery, and page 6 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Manufacturing hindered as sector share 18,135 jobs in HI 2025, and page 3 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Reps rise alarm over terrorist threats to bomb National Assembly, and page 4 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Another story on the Guardian newspaper says power tissue rocks APC as leaders split over Mutwang defection, and page 6 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Obi worries about drug trafficking through courier service, and page 7 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Minister, the Guardian partner on national youth reorientation, and page 5 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Local contractors accuse federal government of withholding 760 billion naira payments, threatening protests, and page 8 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle.
And the last story on the Guardian newspaper says Nigeria among list connected by here despite hot potential, and page 22 has the details to that story.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Alright, so moving on to the last newspaper on the second segment, which is Nigerian Tribune. And the lead story on Nigerian Tribune this morning says, Anambra election, violence will be met with strong, uncompromising response, says NSA, and page 3 has a detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
And there are two writers to that story that says, police will deploy 45,000 officers and armed with some justified extension to collection of PVCs, and page 3 has a detail to that story. Nigerian Tribune says rep props of NFF over alleged misuse of fever calf grants. And there's already that story that says Mini Kebbi Stadium in focus, and page 4 has the detail to that story. We have received threats from terrorists to bomb NAS, Rep Committee Chairman, and page 26 has the detail to that story. US revokes Soyinka's visas, and page 3 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Nigerian Tribune says growing concern over CBN's bill to control Nigeria fixed income markets, and page 5 has the detail to that story.
Audio Jungle.
Scientist turns flower fragrance into mosquito killer, and page 4 has the detail to that story. Nigerian Tribune says why female politician lose election, says Amukwito. Lagos APC allows women's impact in governance. PDP can push Lamido if he sues party, says Olabode George. Still on Nigerian Tribune, story says leverage technology to enhance teaching, Idris urged Kebbi's teachers.
Audio Jungle. Ensure us to never go on strike again, says federal government. Audio Jungle.
Nigerian Tribune says Anambra top state fiscal performance ranking, and page 5 has the detail to that story. Alright, so we have come to the end of the second segment. Before we divert into the last segment, let's go on a break. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
The Aces Hotels and Conference Center is one and only event place with a clear difference and tasteful excellence here in the ancient city of Ibadan. For your next and upcoming event, whether marriage engagement, wedding reception, anniversaries, conferences, seminars, or birthday, the Aces Hotels and Conference Center is affordable and fully equipped with all imaginable ultra-modern facilities for your total convenience without headache, security, power, environment, parking space, and royal service by their staff. All roads lead to the Aces Hotel and Conference Center today at kilometer 2.5 Ijokodo Akbete Akufo Road, Akere, Ibadan. For booking and more information, call 080-8746-7420, 080-9744-1898, or 080-2869-0012. The Aces Hotels and Conference Center, where comfortability speaks than words.
Ìwòyìn àsìkò lọ́lọ́kọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀kan eré ìdárayá orin tó dùn gbọ́sẹ̀ tí àtàwọn ètò tí ń kọ́ni lọ́gbọ́n ẹgbẹ́ wa kétékété lórí ayélujára wọ̀nyí lórí Facebook àti Fmtv, lórí Twitter àti Fmtv, lórí Instagram àti Fmtv, pẹ̀lú YouTube àti Fmtv. Ilé ìtura DS àwọn tó lápẹ́tẹ́ nílùú Ìbàdàn lákàlẹ̀ sí o. Fún ìpolówó ọjà iléeṣẹ́ yín ẹ lè pè wá sórí nọ́mbà wọ̀nyí o: 081591942 àti 47. Ẹ tún lè pè wá sórí aago yìí o: 080224841 pẹ̀lú 24 ni ẹ pè sí o. Mọ́mí àti dádì ẹ̀dọ̀wọ́ MFM ni ẹ mọ́ gbọ́ lójoojúmọ́ nígbà gbogbo.
Gbogbo ọ̀yà ni ó mọ̀ pera rẹ̀ lódù bó bá jẹ́ níbi tí kábánira mọ́tò láti òkè òkun tàbí ó fẹ́ ra ojúlówó mọ́tò ilé tí ó já lálòpẹ́, iléeṣẹ́ mọ́tò Onabis Automobile òní òye àkànṣí eléyìí tó kalẹ̀ sí kìlómítà 8 Old Ife Road àdójúkọ ilé ìtajà àgbàlódé Brent sọ́ọ̀mì nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Bóyá ẹ̀yin fẹ́ ra mọ́tò tàbí ẹ fẹ́ gbé mọ́tò ránṣẹ́ láti ilẹ̀ òkèrè sórílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà, kódà orí ọ̀fẹ́ wà láti bá yín ṣe àmójútó, láti bá yín ṣe àyẹ̀wò sí mọ́tò yín. Iléeṣẹ́ Onabis Automobile òun gẹ́gẹ́ ni mò ń pè níyàn o. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ni 08033710636, 08033710636. Onabis Automobile, boom 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 boom.
FM fún ìdálárayá, ètò àsìkò, ìkọ́nilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìgbà gbogbo. FM ní kẹ́ ẹ máa gbọ́, ẹ má gbé kúrò níbẹ̀ nígbà gbogbo. Ẹni tó bá níjó tí ò jó, ẹni tó bá ráyọ̀ tí ò yọ̀, ọjọ́ tí ò pẹ́ ni ó sunra rẹ̀ láwọ̀ ara. FM ló ní kẹ́ ẹ níjó kẹ́ ẹ jó, kẹ́ ẹ ráyọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ sì máa yọ̀. FM ni ẹ máa gbọ́, ni ẹ máa wò nígbà gbogbo.
Alright, so welcome back to the show. It's still from the newspaper. Don't forget to watch us live on Facebook at him97.3 FM. And as watching us, do well to like, comment, and share. We are now in the last segment of From the Newspaper this morning, which is the details to the headlines. And the first hour bringing on says, Taraba, Plateau, Adamawa governors face defection dilemma. Concern are deepening that Nigeria may be drifting toward one-party state as the once dominant People Democratic Party struggled to retain its few remaining stronghold following a wave of defection by its governors to the ruling All Progressive Congress. The Punch report that 4 PDP governors in the north are considering switching to the APC ahead of 2027 election. The development has sparked fresh anxiety in the opposition party, further weakening the opposition structure across the north and raising questions about its future. The PDP, which held the presidency for 16 straight years after the return to democracy in 1999, now governs just 8 of Nigerian 36 states: Bauchi, Oyo, Adamawa, Osun, Plateau, Taraba, Zamfara, and Rivers State. Its weakest position in the Fourth Republic, with the recent defection by some of its key governors, including Sheriff Oborevori, Delta State, Umoenu, Akwa Ibom State, and Peter Umba, Enugu State. Attention has turned to states such as Plateau, Taraba, Zamfara, and Adamawa, where the speculation are mounting that their governors may soon cross over to the APC. The steady loss of territory, fueled by the defection and political realignment, as embodied at the APC, which continue to attract high-profile converts ahead of 2027 general election. In the past months, defection by governors and key party figures have reduced to the PDP national presence, leaving the opposition battling internal division and leadership fatigue. With the PDP now clinching to just 8 states, political watchers warn that Nigerian democracy risks losing the balance of multi-party competition that has defined its Fourth Republic. Analysts said the recent wave of defection, overdriven by access to federal power rather than ideology, undermine position accountability and weakening institutional checks. As the 2027 election draw closer, the PDP faced the toughest test of its existence, whether it can hold its few remaining strongholds or watch them collapse one by one under the weight of political expediency. Military interrogates MD raid ex-governor's house. Military investigators probing an alleged plot to overthrow President Bola Tinubu are reportedly grilling a managing director of a federal government agency in the South-South region, the Punch has learned. 2 intelligence officers confirmed that the MDs were arrested for allegedly transferring a huge sum of money to former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipri Seila, who was the figure one of the financier of the alleged plot to forcefully change the government. Former Bayelsa Governor Seila's Abuja house was reportedly raided by the investigators on Saturday, which military operative arresting the younger brother, Paga, who is Special Assistant to Domestic Affairs, who went away. The former Minister of All Progressive Congress chieftain was outside the country during the operation. Sources with the knowledge of the operation explained that he was planning to return to the country when he heard the corps leaders has been arrested. He thus shelved his plan to return home. The Director of Defense Media Operation, Mass General Marcos, and the Director of Defense Information, Brig General Tukar Guswa, said one of which comments on Tuesday as didn't pick up the call from most reporters. Guswa had, and in a statement on October 4, said that 16 officers was detained to breach of military regulations and acts of indiscipline. However, online platform SHAQEEROH reports claimed that the detained officers, ranging from the rank captain to the general, were being held by the Defense Intelligence Agency for allegedly plotting to overthrow the government. Vote buying won't decide Anambra election, says Amopiton. The chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amopiton, SAN, has warned against vote buying ahead of November 8 governorship election in Anambra State, assuring that the commission is fully prepared to deliver a free, fair, and credible poll. Amopiton gave the assurance on Tuesday at a meeting of Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security held in Abuja. Warning against vote endorsement, Amopiton vowed that INEC would work closely with security and anti-graft agencies to curb the menace of vote buying, reaffirming its commitment to credible elections. As the INEC chair said, for INEC this representative new chapter, it disclosed the INEC was taking urgent steps to resolve the network challenges countered during the last weekend mock accreditation exercise in the state. The exercise was conducted to test functionality of the upgrade Bermuda voters accreditation system, and the efficiencies of results transmission through the INEC results viewing portal. Anquiton said that about 24,000 INEC personnel will be deployed across 5,218 polling units, with results collected at 332 state ward centers, 21 local government areas, and finally at the state collation center in Akwa. One of the issue voters' readiness, Anquiton disclosed that the commission had extended the collection of permanent voters' card in Anambra from Wednesday, October 29, November 2, to allow more eligible voters to collect their card. The INEC boss commended security agency for their collaboration in ensuring a peaceful election environment, stressing that intelligence scenario was crucial to maintaining public confidence in process. He also revealed that the commission has finalized logistic arrangements with the transport union, including the National Association of Road Transport Owners, the National Union of Road Transport Workers, and the Maritime Workers of Union of Nigeria, for the movement of election material and personnel. The meeting co-chaired by the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, represented by the Director of Internal Security in his office, Azan Abdullah, brought together the top security intelligence and law enforcement officials to find true strategy for smooth and incident-free election. Anquiton expressed the optimism that collective committing among the stakeholders will make Anambra governorship election to be benchmark for electoral integrity. INEC noted that about 2.8 million registered voters are expected to participate in the election. Of the 13 activities on the timetable, 11 have already been concluded, and the political campaign ending on November 6 and governorship poll scheduled for November 8. The BVAS technology introduced during the 2023 general election is designed to authenticate voters biometrically and transmit results electronically in real time via IREF portal. However, challenges experienced during the last general election prompted the Commission to strengthen the system ahead of Anambra poll.
Audio Jungle.
Enugu governor seek SMEs financing to drive economic growth. The Enugu State Governor, Peter Umba, has called for a dedicated financing stream for small and medium enterprises independent of commercial banks to ensure fair competition across the region. Speaking to the workshop of the Economic Committee of West African State Trade Liberalization Scheme, Umba emphasized the need for financing institutions to support local industries, citing difficulties faced by SMEs in accessing financial assistance. He added that banks should be compelled to assist business in Southwest to grow, ensuring they can compete with ECOWAS sub-regions. Minister of State for Finance Affairs, Ambassador Binka Odumegu Ojukwu, also spoke at the workshop, highlighting the importance of ETLS in deepening region interrogation and empowering SMEs. It's been recalled that the Punch online report on October 10, 2025, that Money Point Microfinance Bank revealed that 42% of Nigerian small businesses cannot survive for months without income. The bank said the report highlighted the fragile financial position of small businesses that deploy a large share of Nigerians. Gas marketers target 6 million ton LPG supply, predict price drop. Liquefied petroleum gas marketers have set a target to raise Nigerian annual LPG supply to 6 million metric tons in the coming years as part of the efforts to deepen the use of cleaner energy across the country. The ongoing president of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Oladapo Olatunbosun, disclosed this on Tuesday at the association's 38th annual general meeting in Abuja, where he revealed the growth of the sector to outline future goals for industry. Olatunbosun said the country's LPG consumption has grown from 900,000 metric tons from 4 years ago to over 2 million metric tons in 2024, attributing the progress of increased investment, collaboration with government agencies, and rising public acceptance of gas as a domestic energy source. Nigeria's LPG industry has witnessed steady growth since the launch of National Gas Expansion Program for the Decades of Gas Initiative in 2021, aimed at driving industrialization and cleaner energy adoption. With a population of exceeding 200 million and abundant natural gas reserve for 200 trillion cubic feet, Nigeria is among Africa's largest gas producers, but still struggling with low domestic LPG penetration, particularly in rural areas. According to Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Nigeria consumes about 1.9 to 2 million metric tons of LPG annually, for below its potential market size of 5 to 6 million tons. Despite the progress, Olatunbosi noted that the rising cost of LPG as uneven supply remain key concerns. He expressed the optimism that lingering complaints over the high cost of cooking gas will soon be a thing of the past, citing ongoing efforts to boost domestic supply. According to him, the expected entry of surplus energy gas into markets, combined with the increased reproduction from Dangote refinery and other ongoing investments in gas infrastructure, would ease supply pressure and stabilize price nationwide. He also called the incoming leadership to prioritize affordability and expand access rural area where gas adoption remains low. The NAPGAN president acknowledged recent supply disruption linked to plant maintenance and refinery logistics, but expressed optimism that stability was returning with the ramp-up of production at the Dangote refinery and other local facilities. He maintained that the country's population growth and industrial needs will continue to drive gas demand, increase domestic process capacity and infrastructure investment to reduce reliance on imports. Olatunbosi also called on operators to embrace technological innovations to improve safety, cut product theft, and enhance plant monitoring. He encouraged young Nigerians to develop technological solutions that can improve LPG's handling logistics and safety standards across the value chain. Reflecting on his 4 years tenure as president, Olatunbosi expressed gratitude to NAPGAN members of their support and unity, describing his tenure as a period of transformation and resilience. He challenged the incoming executive to consolidate the gain recorded, pursue the investment opportunities, and sustain advocacy for enabling business environment. The highlight of the 38th anniversary meeting is the election of new executive who will steer the affairs of the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers for the next 4 years.
Audio Jungle.
Story says First Lady reaffirmed Nigerian commitment to ending tuberculosis by 2030. The First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to ending tuberculosis by 2030 through concrete action in line with the New Hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. According to a statement issued today by her media head, Busola Kokoye, the First Lady spoke on the special guest of honor at the 39th Shop TP Partnership Board meeting held in Manani, Philippines. The First Lady explained that the gathering over 180 participants from 47 countries that Nigeria is strengthening the commitment to reduce reliance on donor funding, to build resilient systems to ensure no setback on ending TB by 2030. According to Ms. Tinubu, who is the global and national top TB champions, TB remains the biggest infection killer disease and is a threat for all of us being hereboard. She said the sustainability of tuberculosis response cannot depend solely on internal assistance, but within the national through leadership, communities engagement, and strategic national coordination.
Audio Jungle.
And the last story on the show this morning said, Livestock Production Contract for National Security Institute. The Nigerian Institute of Animal Science on Tuesday noted that the establishment of Ministry of Livestock Development by President Bola Tinubu is an alignment with the global best practice. The president of Institute, Simeon Ohwa, noted that Nigeria is currently at a point where livestock remains central for the quest of national security, economic resilience, employment generation, and agricultural transformation. He made it known during the 2025 induction of new members associated with the Fellow of the Institute in Abuja. In a bid to end the case of violent clashes between farmers and herders, President Tinubu announced the creation of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development on July 9, 2025. The creation of the ministry following the report of the Presidential Committee to Implementation of Livestock Reform to address issues of the livestock sector, such as farmer-herders conflicts, and so to boost productivities. A former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Atairu Jega, served as the co-chairman of the committee. Also speaking at the event, the Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Manya, said Nigeria is prioritizing food security and global competitiveness as well as transforming the country's livestock industry. Manya said that to achieve the desired sector development and global competitiveness, the country must first transform its animal breed while preserving their genetic heritage. The minister said that although the challenges persist, Nigerian livestock industry has the potential to compete globally through collaboration, partnership, and looking inward to creative solutions. He also noted that Nigerian livestock sector, despite being considered a national asset valued at about 30 trillion naira, contributes less than 3% to the national GDP. It therefore challenges animal scientists and other stakeholders in the sector to use the opportunity to ask a tough question and come up with the right answers.
Audio Jungle.